What are you doing to my wife? Serious so for?
A couple say they're taking legal action after being dragged away from the hospital bed of their dying daughter by police.
I was removed from the bedside of my dying daughter. Where was the compassion? Where was the professionalism? I mean, this is such a lovely moment. I will treasure it for the rest of my life. Just before they pulled me out, I was just sitting calmly and talking to my daughter.
Let me have my medicine. I've got chest pain. I will have a heart attack.
I was shouting, I'm in pain, I'm dizzy, I'm breathless, let me have my medicine. And they just quickly handcuffed me. I could have died. I could have died for having a heart attack and heart
No, but the way we were treated was appalling. But this is going to happen again and again and again.
You have not tested AFBs, you have not tested PCP. If you have done that, show me the result and we will start the process this minute. No, you can't start that process. You'll have to go through the court first.
You know, the feeling we had when they were talking to us, it was as if it was imminent. They said, she's going to have a tube out, she's going to have it taken out now.
What do you guys want from us? Our child is dying.
At that time, I walked back to my daughter.
To make sure she was safe.
To make sure that they have already not done it. And I was with her to protect her.
Let me have my medicine. What is this?
I don't know how the police are going to justify their actions, having found no reason to arrest me like an animal and in a barbaric way.
It's just a variety of, that's at home, is it? Yeah, that's at home.
Yeah, she's sleeping.
That's at the hospital, because I can see with the thing on there, and that's in the hospital, but that's when she was a lot younger. Aren't you a gorgeous girl? Yeah. I'm Aliya Abbasi, I'm Zainab's mum, and my background was that I graduated as a doctor and I worked within hospital medicine for about 5 years.
I am Rashid Abbasi. I am a consultant chest physician in adult and do adult practice. We have got three sons, and the icing of cake was my little angel Zainab. When she was born, we had almost stopped hoping to have a daughter. At that point, she was a surprise, and that's the best present we have ever had. Yeah. Zainab was born prematurely, and there were some issues about her ability to breathe at the time when she was born, and against all predictions, she only needed the support to breathe for a few hours. Yeah. And she was supposed to stay for weeks and weeks into the hospital, but in 3 weeks' time they were happy to kick her out, and then she developed like a normal child, except that she was a little bit slow in attaining her milestones.
She was very cheeky as well, very, very cheeky personality. I mean, even there, can you see that big smile on?
This is when she was normally on oxygen and everything,
yeah,
but she was
on
lovely.
Oxygen. But her feeding tube was in her tummy by then because she's got no peg in. Intellectually, she was very bright, but it was only then her illness, and she ended up having swine flu when she was about 2 years and 8 months old, and ended up ventilated. And that is where there was a dramatic change in her, and she became profoundly disabled. And it was only at that point that, while she was on a ventilator, it was found out that she had an underlying condition.
How old was she then? Because even during her illness, she recovered well enough to be able to stay off oxygen for hours and hours. She was not on oxygen all the time.
No, that's at home. No, that's in the hospital.
I used to look after Zainab through the night, having done, my very busy job through the day. And but it was immense pleasure to look after the angel, and she used to come in. I mean, I have got a heart condition for a long time, and I was advised by, even some of the nurses there, that you should really be awake all night, because I used to sit at her bedside and let her have my finger, because that's the way she used to communicate. she could easily get overheated. So that is what she would do. And if I took her blanket off and she starts to go for it, she will start to grunt to say, well, now it's time to put it back. So we understood each other like my wife understood her. And that is where, when I was excluded from Zainab's bedside, I thought it was to follow an agenda to exclude me, not because I was a bad person for Zainab or a bad person for him, but it was to exclude a professional who would always fight for her daughter with evidence, with rationale.
Now we know what your palliative path care is, because so far nobody's discussed it with us. Let's see what happens in the next 3 days, and then
Once these tests are negative, we will start the process that you are talking about. You have not done extended fungal cultures, right? If you have done that, show me the result and we will start the process this minute. No, you can't start that process. You'll have to go through the court first.
We literally, the feeling we had when they were talking to us, it was as if it was imminent, because that is the way that it came across. They said, she's going to have her tube out, she's going to have it taken out now. So that made us think, hang on a minute, there are a few doctors here, but we know there are people on there. So are they doing it while we're in here? That is the level of distrust that we had reached with the hospital.
What do you guys want from us? Our child is dying.
At that time, I walked back to my daughter
To make sure she was
to
safe.
make sure that they have already not done it, and I was with her to protect her.
And we came back and my son was sitting there, and to be honest, I'd been crying. I think you can hear it on the audio, because I was so distressed. And I was like, what are they doing? And I thought, you know what, any minute now they're just going to come in, and because that is the impression, and we just felt that we have to be there to make sure she stays safe.
Unfortunately, we need to speak to you outside.
We have just been told about half an hour ago that they are going to take the tube out and our daughter is going to die. So, to be honest, do you know what?
I'm not leaving. At the time when the video starts, actually you see me holding her hand, and I was having a chat with her. I was reassuring her that no, please hold on, carry on fighting. Your dad is here, your old man is here. He's going to do all the fighting for you, and we won't let anybody take you away unless and until it's time to go.
If you don't comply with what I'm saying,
No.
then there might be a necessity to place you under arrest.
No.
All right?
I really feared that my removal will end up in Zainab losing her life by them removing the tube. And that is why I said, I'm not going to go. I will come with you voluntarily if you show me legal papers. And they said they had nothing.
All we are asking your husband to do is step away for today, let her have some care, and he can revisit when the doctors say that is appropriate. That is a reasonable request. It is a reasonable request.
That's not what they have done.
But that's what we've informed. That's what we're here to do.
I know. What have you actually been told? Were you told that half an hour ago Dr. informed us that they were going to take the tube
Yes,
out?
but they're not doing it right now. They're not doing it right now. They're not going to do anything without informing
Do you
you.
know what compassion is?
I honestly thought these people would listen, and I would explain to them calmly. I said, this is what's just happened. We've had a meeting in there, and they have told us that her tube's going to come out. So my expectation was that they would go, okay, hang on a minute, let's reassess the situation. But they didn't. And in fact, it was bully boy tactics.
I don't know how the police, how the doctors are going to justify their actions, having found no reason to charge me for an offense that I never committed, but that allowed them to arrest me like an animal and in a barbaric way.
Basher. This is a basher.
They came well prepared. There was a plan. One police officer was talking to me from the left side, asking me to come with her, and the other one sneaked behind, and he held the hand that I was holding Zainab with a steel velcro in his arm. He squeezed it very hard. I could still have, put up with that pain. But then the two police officers, they pulled me
Yeah.
with all the power. If I had not let Zainab hand let go,
Zainab would have come
Zainab
with
would
you.
have come with me. It would have resulted in her tube coming out traumatically and almost dying straight enough. They had no regard for that.
Calm down. Calm down. I've got chest pain. Right. I've got chest pain. You brought this on yourself.
We'll take you to A&E. That's absolutely fine.
I was shouting, I'm in pain, I'm dizzy,
Give me
I'm
my
breathless,
medicine.
let me have my medicine. And they just quickly handcuffed me. And then, on an intensive care where nurses and doctors were there, my cry for help fell on deaf ears.
And I think a very interesting point I think you should raise. is
I could
the fact
have
that-
died. I could have died for having a heart attack and heart
No, but the
dysrhythmia.
pain that you have when you're having a heart attack is equivalent to labour pain. So it is that intense. And if he'd had the emergency medicine, that may well have stopped him having the heart attack. And having had the heart attack, the long-term repercussions are the following day he had to have a procedure at the sister hospital to open up his arteries. And then he had to have another one this February and then another one just in June. And this is when normally a procedure would last him 5 years. So this is the repercussions. And
It's
because
still
of that,
going on.
yeah.
I still wake up in the night. I'm still distressed. I wake up as if people are snatching and taking tube out of my throat.
And pulling
I
his-
could feel the tightening of handcuffs at my wrist. I've got photographs where I was.
The bruises lasted so long, and it was like, because he was describing it to me, he said it was like metal Velcro. Because I said, what did they do? Because I could see it, but I mean, not being funny, but these are people who on a day-to-day basis deal with the public. Could they not assess the situation?
Let me have my medicine. What is this? What is this?
I was removed from the bedside of my dying daughter. Where was the compassion? Where was the professionalism? I want answers to these. And I don't think there is anybody who is willing to stand up and say sorry, which is the least that they should do.
I think the thing about our situation, the reason why it's different is because even though this is happening across the board, the phrase that a picture is 1,000 words. And I think here we've got many pictures, and that shows the true story. And when you look at the background behind it, you then understand the context of what has happened.